let's get started with a nice, gentle arm flow. So taking our hands and bringing them to heart center. And then bringing the hands down and up in a circle up overhead and meeting in the middle, palms together, coming down and open and up and down. So making circles with our arms, flowing and breathing. You can go faster or slower. I'm a little stiff. I was traveling for work for the past week, and I haven't done an awful lot of yoga the past week, so I'm stiff. So I'm probably going to be a little slower today. But if you want to go faster, you absolutely can. Whatever feels good. Just coordinate your breath. Inhaling probably on the upswing and exhaling on the downswing. And one more time. And from heart center, let's bring our arms up overhead. Palms facing one another, fingertips to sky, seated Urdhva Hastasana, bringing the arms straight up out of the shoulder blades, but keeping a space between our ears and our neck. And then let's clasp the hands together at the top and flip the palms to the sky. Bringing the biceps into the ears and trying to make that space, a little bit of space between the shoulders and the ears, which is tricky sometimes, but it's something to be mindful of. Now, feeling your left sitting bone rooted into the ground, let's take the arms and the torso and bring them to the right for a left side body stretch. Rolling the left shoulder back and keeping the arms fairly straight and strong. Coming up to center. Seal down the right sitting bone and lean to the left. Stretching out the right side of the body and up. And at your own pace a few more times. Reaching through the palms up to sky as we lean to one side. Making sure those sitting bones are grounded into the ground and that our head is between our arms, not sort of cocked off and leaning to the, like being lazy and resting onto the, onto the bicep. And one more time each side, rolling the shoulder back so we're not collapsing forward. And then gently floating the arms down. Let's place the left fingertips down just beside the left hip and bring the right ear to right shoulder for a left neck, side of the neck stretch. And inhale. And exhale, other side. So right fingertips yearning towards the area beside our right hip. And left ear to left shoulder. Whew. And back to center. Right ear to right shoulder. Left fingertips to mat. Back to center, and left ear to left shoulder. Feeling that lovely stretch along the right side. Oh. Back to center. One more time, right ear, right shoulder, and if you want to, you can float the right hand up just to rest gently on the upper left side of your head, if that feels good. Otherwise, you can leave the hand on the ground. That's totally okay. And back to center. And left ear to left shoulder, gently pressing on the top upper right side of the head. Breathing into that stretch. And back to center. Let's cross our legs in the opposite direction, so recrossing our legs. And then taking a moment again to settle into our seat, feel our sitting bones rooted into the ground. And if you need to shift a little to make that feel grounded, just go ahead and do that. No one's watching. And spine nice and long, crown to sky. Imagine our string coming out of the top of the head. Shoulders down and away from the ears. And just take a moment to ground and breathe. And then hinging at the hips, leading with the heart. Nice straight spine coming over the legs. Now you may come onto your hands. You may slide your hands forward a little bit. Or if you want to come down further by relaxing and rounding the spine, you can do that too. Ooh. Oh, that feels good. One of the nice things about yoga is you don't have to do anything really crazy or complicated, just feel really good from it. It's a nice thing. I mean, sometimes you can do things that are crazy and complicated, but you don't have to to get the benefit. And then leading with the heart and coming back up to a seat. Let's do some eagle arms. So we'll take the right elbow and place it in the center of the chest, right at heart center, elbow, and then the fingertips to sky. And then we'll take the left arm, bring it underneath the right elbow and wrap left fingertips around the right arm so that left fingertips are touching right palm. And you can stay here and try to create some space in your back body in between your shoulder blades. That can be very nice just to sit here and focus on that. If you'd like to integrate a little bit of movement into this pose, you can bring your arms as one unit up towards the sky, looking up at your fingertips, and then crunching it in, so bringing the elbows in towards your body as you round your spine. And coming back up and looking up. Rounding the spine, crunching it in, relaxing the neck. And inhale up. And exhale down. And then coming back to neutral and unwinding the arms. You can shake out a little bit if you want. Bringing the left arm this time, so elbow is in parallel to the solar plexus, right in the middle of the chest. Fingertips to sky, bringing the right arm underneath to support the left arm, wrapping the right fingertips around the arm so that right fingertips are in contact with left palm. And just take a moment to feel what it feels like on this side, to open up the shoulder blades a bit, see if it feels any different. I feel a little tighter on this side for some reason. It's interesting. If you want, you can inhale and raise the arms up, looking up at your fingertips up at the sky, and then exhaling and crunching it in. And arms up, look up, and bring it in, and crunch. And arms up, looking up to ceiling and crunching it in. And then coming up to neutral and unwinding and shaking it out a little bit if you like. Now, coming on into child's pose. So, knees mat width apart, toes together, sitting back on your heels, and then coming forward, arms, hands towards the top of the mat. Arms nice and long, reaching towards the top of the mat. Fingers spread, so you have a nice base. And you can either push your arms, hands into the mat if you want a more active pose, or you can just kind of let it go and have a more passive pose, and that's nice too. Now, keeping your sitting bones in contact with your heels, let's walk the hands to the right. And you can either have the hands parallel to one another, or if you'd like to, you can place left hand on top of right so that the hands are stacked. Breathing into your left side body. Just a few breaths here. Walking it back to center. And then walking the hands over to the left, either keeping hands side by side or placing right hand on top of left. And breathing into the right side body. And then coming back to center. Hands towards the top of the mat. Let's flip the right palm to the sky and take that right arm and bring it across the chest to the left. And then lowering everything down so your shoulder will be in contact with should be in contact with the mat. Your right palm should be facing skyward. And you should be looking to the left because it would be really, really hard on your neck to look to the right. This is thread the needle. And if you want to stay here, you can stay here. Or if you'd like to do something a little different, you could bring the left arm up around your back and then bring the top of the left hand either in contact with or in the direction of the right hip. Taking the bind here. And if you need to pick up your head a little bit and bring it closer to the top of the mat to elongate your neck, feel free to do that. You don't want your neck to feel compressed. And if you took the bind, you can unwind your arm, bring it back to the top of the mat, and then pushing into your hand, unwinding the right arm and bringing it up to the top of the mat, to child's pose. Now let's flip the left palm to sky this time. And pushing into the right palm as you lift up your left arm and bring it across your chest, palm facing up. And then lower gently everything down to the mat. You can relax your right arm down as well. Thread the needle other side. And relax and breathe into the stretch in your shoulder. And if you'd like, you can take that right arm this time and take the bind on the other side. So right top of hand to left hip area. And that gives a nice stretch in the right shoulder. We don't often bring our arm like this in everyday life, so it's sort of a nice way to explore and enhance range of motion if it's comfortable. And then if you took the bind, unwinding and bringing the arm back, hand back to the top of the mat, and lifting up, unwinding the left arm and back to child's pose. And then walking your hands back towards your body to help you come to a seat on your heels. So hero's pose. We're sitting on our heels on top of our feet. That gives us a nice little ankle stretch without being hopefully too crazy intense. If this feels a little much, you could always stick a small pillow underneath your butt. That can help. And just be mindful of your posture, crown to sky, shoulders down. Maybe lightly rest your hands on your thighs. Chin parallel to the floor. And breathe. The the end of a busy day, it's nice to just explore your body and your range of motion and stretch and breathe, especially at the start of the week. Now let's open up our knees a little bit, about hip width apart, and our feet a little bit as well. And then we're going to bring our hands so that they're basically underneath our shoulders, fingertips pointing away from the knees. I'm actually going to move up a little bit. I'm a little too close to the wall. There we go. Okay, it's better. And you can stay here and just open up your chest, open up across your collarbones. If that's enough for you, and that's great. And if you'd like just a little more, you can try baby camel, which is making sure our hands are underneath our shoulders and our feet and knees are just a little bit apart. Lifting the hips up to the sky and bringing the neck behind, like leaning the head back. If it's a little too much for your neck to bring your head back, you can always look up, just sort of straight out in front of you. That's okay too. It's better for you. Broadening across the chest and then lowering the hips back down. And let's go into child's pose just for a moment. And when you're ready, let's come up into tabletop. Making sure knees are under hips and wrists are under shoulders and fingers are spread. And the tops of our feet are in contact with the mat. And let's go into a cat and cow pose, because that's always lovely. So we'll lift the head and the tailbone, dropping the belly, and pushing into our hands. And then on the exhale, we're going to round the spine, crunching in the abs, tucking the tailbone, tucking the pelvis, chin to chest. And then inhale, dropping the belly into cow, pushing into the hands, making sure we're not, collapsing down in our chest, feeling nice and strong. And then rounding the spine, tucking the pelvis, chin to chest, pushing into the hands. Cat. Feeling a nice stretch in the back. We push into our hands. And then cow one more time. And cat. And then neutral spine. Let's bring our right leg straight out behind us with the balls of the feet on the mat. And we'll do a little bit of a calf stretch here by pushing back into the heel, feeling the balls of the feet in solid contact with the mat. Nice stretch in our calf. And then relaxing. And then picking up those right toes and bringing them over to the back left corner of the mat. Feeling nice and strong and supported in our hands and arms. And then looking over our left shoulder at our back foot. And feeling a nice stretch in our right hip. Oh, that feels good. And bringing it back to tabletop. Checking our alignment. Let's bring that left leg straight back behind us, balls of the feet on the mat, pushing into our left heel, feeling that fabulous stretch in our left calf. Woohoo, feels nice. And you can either, apply consistent pressure or pulse back and forth as you enjoy it. And then picking up those toes, bringing them over to the back right corner, and making sure we're strong in our hands and strong and not collapsing down in our chest. We're going to look over our right shoulder at our heel of our left foot. And coming back to tabletop. Now I'm going to move back just a little bit more on our mat. Just to make sure that there's space for this next pose. So shifting things back a little bit onto your mat, bringing knees mat width apart and shins parallel to one another along the edge of the mat as well. Making sure our hips and knees are in line. And then we're going to walk our hands out towards the top of the mat for Mandukasana. Lowering our, you can either lower your forehead down to the mat and relax your arms down to have a nice sort of stretch through the chest and the underarm and the arm area. Or if you want to, you can keep your arms straight and strong. Just making sure to keep your head in between your biceps and try to create some space between your ears and your neck. That's an option. I like the more relaxed, bring it down to the mat kind of approach. But you have options. And breathing and enjoying the way this feels in your body. Enjoying your time in the parenthesis as for the quote at the beginning of the class. And then coming back up to tabletop. Let's check our alignment. Hips and knees aligned, wrists and shoulders aligned. Then placing the weight in the left side, let's pick up the right hand and place the wrist under the shoulder with the right fingertips pointing towards the bottom of the mat, towards our knees. Now, not placing a whole lot of pressure on the back of the right wrist, just light pressure to give it a nice stretch in the forearm. And then picking up the hand and placing it back down normally in tabletop. Shifting weight to the right side, let's pick up that left hand, place the back of the left hand onto the mat. Gentle stretch in the left forearm wrist. It does feel pretty good. If it doesn't feel good to you, make sure you either ease off or you can just stay in tabletop. But if it feels good, which I hope it does, you can enjoy this. And lifting up and coming back to tabletop. Let's move into gate pose by coming up to a kneeling position. Do a wardrobe adjustment here. Hold on. I'm a little chilly too, Lorna. Funny story, when I have the yoga class, I found out the hard way that if the heat is on and the fan is blowing, it's really, really noisy and distracting. So I turn off the heat for classes. It's a little chilly, but it's easier for everyone to hear. So we're in kneeling position, and we're going to bring the left leg straight out to the side. So our left foot, the edge of the left foot is parallel to the edge of the mat, and it's coming straight out to the side. It's not behind us, it's not in front of us, it's straight out to the side. And now we're going to bring the right arm up and over and gently rest the left hand on the left leg. Avoiding the knee if you can, as we don't like putting extra stress and pressure on our joints. We can avoid it. Reaching up and over, imagining a nice line of energy from the right knee all the way up through the side of our body, rolling our right shoulder back, and having the energy coming out of our fingertips. And then coming back up to a kneeling position. Let's do it on the other side. So we're going to take the right leg straight out beside us. Right foot parallel to right edge of mat, not match. Bring the left arm up and over, right hand gently resting on the right leg. avoiding the knee, rolling the left shoulder back, and energetically reaching from left knee up through the side body, out the fingertips. And coming back to a kneeling position. Let's come onto our belly now. So tops of the feet are resting on the mat. Forehead is on the mat. Shoulders, no, I was going to say shoulders are under hands. That's not right. Hands are under shoulders. And with the strength of your back and with the feeling of your pelvis grounded into the mat, lifting the head up with the strength of your back into cobra. Rolling the shoulder blades slightly together, keeping the ears and shoulders apart. And in this pose, there's minimal weight in the hands, such that you should be able to lift up your hands and still stay more or less where you are. And exhale and lower down. And now you can bring your hands along your body so that they're coming near and touching your legs. And then again, being aware of the contact of your pelvis with the mat, lifting your legs up off the ground, toes pointed behind you, into a half locust. And if you want to, and this feels good, you can then lift your head up and lift your arms up so that the fingertips are pointing towards the toes and that you're rolling your shoulders back, opening the chest and creating space between your ears and your shoulders. And breathing. And then gently lower everything down with control. Very good. Now let's come back up to tabletop. Looking at our alignment, hips and knees, shoulders and hands. And from here, let's come into a low lunge by bringing our right foot in between our hands. And you can tense your hands if you like, so fingertips on the mat, if that makes it easier for you. And then tucking your back toes and lifting your back knee into low lunge. From here, let's spin the back foot so that it's parallel to the back of the mat and come to a standing position, being mindful that your knee is over top of your ankle and heel, and that you can see your front big toe. If you can't see your front big toe, bring the knee off to the side so you can. Spreading the front toes, pick them up and spread them out. Make sure there's a nice stable base for you. And then bringing the arms out to a T, like you've got someone tugging on each hand in the opposite direction. And looking over your right fingertips into warrior two. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing, don't hold your breath. And then dropping the left hand and bringing the right arm up and over behind you into a little bit of a back bend. That is peaceful warrior. And coming back to warrior two. And from here, let's pivot the right foot so it's parallel to the left, and let's step it together so that feet are hip width apart and you're in a standing position in Tadasana. So opening up across the chest, rolling the shoulders back a little bit, arms, fingertips down towards the floor. From here, we're going to bring the arms up at a 45-degree angle, sort of up, slightly out in front of you, and then sit down into chair pose. Making sure the knees stay hip width apart. If you're happy here, you can stay here. If you'd like a little more, you can bring the hands to heart center. And then pivot to the right such that your left elbow is on the outer part, top outer part of the right knee. And then using the knee as gentle leverage, you can look over your right shoulder. But only if that feels good. And then coming back to center, hands at heart center. And we'll do it on the other side. So right elbow to left knee, looking over the left shoulder. Twisted chair. Coming back to center. And then coming to standing. Shaking out the legs a little. And then bringing the left foot towards the bottom of the mat, stepping the right foot in front, right toes towards the top of the mat, right heel roughly in line with left arch. Back to warrior two. And then let's come into a low lunge. And back to tabletop. Now for the other side. Let's move the left foot in between the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee to low lunge. Pivoting the back foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat, coming up to standing. Checking your foot alignment, your front heel should be in line with your back arch, roughly. You can always pick your feet up and fiddle around if they're not. That helps with balance. Bending the left knee so it's over the left heel, making sure you can see that left big toe. Arms in a T, looking over the left fingertips. Nice and strong and fierce to warrior two. Dropping the right arm, bringing the left arm up and over, peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two, knee over heel, looking over left fingertips, arms in a strong T. Let's pivot the left foot this time so that it's in line with the right, and step the feet together. I'm going to turn around so you can see me so you're not looking at my back. This time we're going to attempt a slight variation on chair pose. But if you prefer to hang out in chair pose, that's an option too. Let's move into Tadasana so our feet are hip width apart, our toes are spread, we're feeling nice and stable. We're going to bring the arms out at a 45-degree angle and sit down into chair pose. So you can stay in chair if you'd like, or if you'd like, we can try a little variation called diver. And in diver, we'll bring the arms back behind us, almost if you can imagine like going skiing, and your hands will be, the palms of your hands will be basically beside your hips. And you can stay here, or if you want, you can come up on the balls of your feet and bring your torso down more along your thighs, so lowering your head. And the nice thing is if you feel like you're going to lose your balance, you can always bring your arms out in front and catch yourself. That's okay. It's far better than not doing that. And then lowering the heels down and coming back up to standing. Now stepping the right foot to the back of the mat, left foot forward, left heel in line with right arch, left toes towards the top of the mat, knee over heel, back into warrior two, looking over those left fingertips, and then coming down to a low lunge, and back to tabletop. From here, let's walk the hands forward just a little bit, and we'll bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand into lizard pose. And let's take a moment here before we go any further to just appreciate how this feels. You probably feel a nice stretch in your the back of your right thigh and your front left hip flexor, which is pretty nice. You can stay here, or if you want to come down to your forearms, you can do that as well. And then if you'd still like a little bit more, you can tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. Any variation of this is absolutely fine. What would be not fine is holding your breath. So make sure you're breathing in this pose. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Make everything easier. And then if your knee is up, bring it down to the mat. Come up to your hands. And feeling stable in this position, you can, if you want, keep your hands on the mat, or if you want to put your right forearm onto the top of your right thigh just above your knee, you can do that too. And bend your, this is an option, bend your left heel in towards your glute, capture it with your left hand for a nice front left quad stretch. And if it's a lot, you can lean back. If you'd like a little more, you can lean forward, adjusting for what feels good to you today. Making sure the front right toes are spread to help create a nice stable base. Taking deep breaths. And then gently letting that foot go. And coming back to tabletop. Now, walking those hands forward again. And do the same on the other side. Bringing the left foot over to the outer outer left hand. Left foot, outer left hand. Lizard other side. Feeling how it feels to be in this pose. Feeling where your body's feeling it today. I'm feeling it in my hip, right front hip flexor, that's for sure. Ooh, it's good though. It's a lovely feeling to have a good yoga stretch. I've missed it. Don't know if you've missed it too, but I've missed it. Now, if you like, you can come down onto your forearms. And if you'd like further still, you could tuck those back toes and lift the back knee. And breathe. And you're probably feeling some ab engagement here as well, which is great. Whew. Feeling nice and strong in that, if you've lifted the knee, feeling nice and strong in that back leg. And breathing. If you lifted the knee, gently lowering the knee to the mat, coming back onto your hands. And then if you'd like, you can place the left forearm on top of left thigh, or place left hand down on the mat, if that helps too. And then bend the right foot towards the right glute and capture it with your right hand for a quad stretch on the other side. Breathing into that, comfortably, pleasantly challenging yourself to the depth that works for you. And then gently lowering the foot and coming back to tabletop. Let's now come on to a seated position onto the mat with our legs extended straight out in front of us into staff pose. Let's be conscious of our spine, feeling the contact of our sitting bones with the mat. Nice long spine, crown to sky, shoulders down. And hinging at the hips, leading with our heart. Let's come over the legs for a nice stretch in the back of our legs, relaxing the head down, keeping the feet flexed. If that's a little too much to ask to keep the feet flexed, you can relax them. I'm not going to tell anybody, but if you want to flex the feet, that gives it a little bit more oomph to the pose. Relaxing the head down. If you want, try to see if you can yearn your chest and head closer to your feet. And then leading with the heart, coming back up. Let's take the right leg, right foot, and stepping the right foot on the outer side of the leg, the left leg, just beside the left knee. And we can hug that in, the right knee in, right leg in with our left hand, placing our right hand behind us on the floor. And now taking the left arm and placing it on the top of the right thigh for some leverage, and then looking to the right, over our right shoulder. Now we're using the left arm as gentle leverage. We don't want to, be crazy and aggressive about the twist, just a nice gentle twist. Watching the length of our spine, inhaling and lengthening towards the sky, exhaling and gently twisting. And then coming back to center, extending the right leg straight out in front of us, bringing the left leg in, knee to sky, and then stepping the left foot beside the outer right knee. Hugging the knee in with our right arm, bringing the left hand behind us for stability and support, and then taking that right arm and using it as leverage on the left thigh. Nice long spine, crown to sky, inhale. Exhale and twist to the left. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and gently twist. And then coming back to center. And unwind the legs. Let's now take the left leg and bring it out to the side, so feet apart. And then take the right foot and bring it in so that the sole of the right foot is in contact with the inner left thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, let's turn our torso to our bent right knee, lifting the arms overhead, and then tipping to the left so that our left arm goes along the inner part of our left leg, fingertips reaching towards the direction of the toes, and right arm up and over. This is revolved Janu Shishasana. Rotating the right shoulder back, so we're not leaning forward like this, we're rotating back. The arm is up and overhead. Right hand, fingertips yearning towards the left toes. No expectation that they'll get there, but they're going in that direction. And then coming back up. Let's switch legs. So right leg straight out to the side, left leg, sole of left foot in contact with inner right thigh. Sitting up nice and tall in our seat, crown to sky. Bringing our torso, turning it in the direction of our left knee. Bringing hands up and overhead. And then tipping to the right arm along the inside of the right leg. Left arm up and over, yearning towards the right toes, rotating the left shoulder back so our chest is nice and open, not collapsing forward. And then coming back up to a seated position. And then let's come onto our back with our knees to the sky. You know what, while we're here, let's windshield wiper a little bit. Let's bring our feet hip width apart and just windshield wipe our knees back and forth. You can have your arms in goalposts, or you can have them out in a T. Either one is okay. And then coming to a gentle stop. Let's extend the right leg. Hold on a sec. What do I want to do here? Yeah, no, you know what? For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to extend the left leg straight out, foot flexed towards the top of the mat. Let's bring our right knee into the chest. While you're here, if you want to do a little ankle rotation with the right foot, rotating in one direction, rotating in the other, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm doing a little multitasking. And now, if you're rotating the ankle, just bring that to a gentle stop. And let's bring the right knee over to the left side of our body. And you probably have to lift up your hips to make sure there's nice alignment between the top of your head to your feet, and it's more comfortable. And in this pose, we want to keep our shoulders on the mat. You can have your right arm out straight to the side, and your left hand could be gently resting on your outer right knee to gently encourage the twist. And you can stay here if you like, or if you want to try something a little funky, you can straighten your right leg and grab your toes with your left peace fingers. So right leg's extended out, holding on to those toes with your left peace fingers. And then if you want, you can bend your left leg so that your left heel is coming towards your glute, and grab your foot with your right hand. And again, rotating your chest so that your shoulders are coming close to or on the mat. And this is called cat pulling its tail. And try to breathe and relax into cat pulling its tail if you chose to take it. If you didn't, that's totally okay as well. And now unwinding from this pose and bringing your legs straight out in front towards the top of the mat. This time keeping your right leg straight and long and bringing your left knee in, hugging that in, rotating the ankle in one direction. I'm just checking the time here. We're good. We're still good. And the other side. Enjoying that ankle stretch and hugging that leg in feels nice. And then bringing the foot to a neutral, relaxed position. Let's bring the left knee across to the right side of your body, lifting up your hips. You can bring your left arm out to the side in a half T and gently resting your right hand onto your outer left knee. And you may want to play just a little bit with either bringing your knee down towards the bottom of the mat or bringing it up a little bit more, whatever makes it more accessible and comfortable, but try to keep those shoulders in contact with the mat. Now, if you want to do cat pulling its tail, what you do here is you extend the left leg out straight to the right side, grabbing the left toes with the right peace fingers. And you can stay here, keeping those shoulders on the mat. Or if you want, you can bend in that right leg and capture the right foot with your left hand. I'm trying to relax and breathe into this pose. Maybe even smiling a little bit as you enjoy what you're doing. And either way, if you took cat pulling its tail or you stayed with the twist, we can unwind from here. Placing our hips on the mat and feet on the floor. And you know what? I think we're going to hug our knees into our chest and rotate the knees in a circle in one direction. We'll give ourselves a little bit of back massage. And then gently as you come to a stop, let's move to the opposite direction. Circles in the other direction. Breathing as you go. And gently coming to a stop. Hug those knees in. Give yourself a nice hug. And then extending the legs out straight in front of you, a little bit apart as we move into Shavasana. So in Shavasana, we're deliberate about where we place our body. We'll feel our back, especially our upper back, shoulder blades in contact with the mat. Arms, palms facing up, arms a little bit away from our body. We're going to tuck our chin a little bit so that the back of the neck is long. Relaxing our face, relaxing our eyes and our jaw. Placing the tip of the tongue on the back top teeth right in the middle. Gently. Relaxing your back and your arms into the mat and your hands. Relaxing your belly, your chest, and your abdomen. Relaxing your glutes and your legs, upper and lower. Feet gently parted. Relaxing your feet. Until your whole body is nice and relaxed and feeling heavy and supported by the mat. And I'm so glad that you joined me this evening for this little parenthesis in our life journey. This delightful little parenthesis in our life journey. And would encourage you to bring to mind that person or thing or place, something that you're grateful for that is with you on your current life journey, making it a little bit better. And let that feeling of warmth and joy and gratitude settle into your body and settle into your heart. And I hope that it will stay with you, that good feeling, for the rest of your evening. You can take it into sleep. That would be nice. With that, let's wiggle our fingers and toes a little bit and plant our feet on the mat. Rolling over to one side, bringing our arms up, using them as a pillow. And gently pushing up to a seat.